All right, what's good, y'all? We are back. Episode 9. I believe we done did this so many times, we kind of losing track, man.
Calm down, bro. Calm down. We back, though. Episode 9.
We back. Quarter 2. That's one of the topics today. Just reviewing quarter 1. But otherwise, any great things from this week, bro?
Any great things from this week? I enjoyed every shoot that we did this week. Did
Yeah.
we do that hair campaign this week? Was that this week or last week?
No, that was last week, but that's on the topics. We didn't do a podcast episode last week. So.
Oh, the shoot from Lala yesterday was dope. I enjoyed that. It was fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, great content coming with that one.
For sure.
Yeah, how about you?
I say a great thing is the maternity shoot we posted yesterday.
Yeah.
Doing numbers right now. It's always good.
Like you said, it's a lot of people who don't follow us.
Yeah, so it's probably on the, like you said, it's probably on the Explorer page or something like that.
Algorithm on our side today.
Right, man.
It's not always on our side, but
exactly. So when it is, you got to be grateful.
Gotta appreciate it. Yeah.
Facts.
Good week though.
Yeah, good week. So I'm feeling hopeful.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
I want to say I appreciate everybody who's like come in the studio and told us that they like the podcast, they're listening, tuning in.
Yeah. I was actually doing Webby's shoot on what was that, Wednesday, I think. And I when me and you were upstairs, I overheard him talking to the photographer that I was with him. And he was just like, yo, like he made a reference to the podcast about how many lights we use, like how many lights we use for our setups for campaign shoots and things like that. So I appreciate it, man. For sure. Shout out to Webby, man.
Yeah, I appreciate all y'all, man. That's really dope.
Yeah,
it's motivation to keep going.
For sure. And I mean, I guess housekeeping. We have a lot of things on the horizon. A notable thing is that we're definitely gonna try to do a workshop this quarter, quarter 2.
We don't have a topic yet, but maybe we could just poll it on Instagram and see.
Yeah, poll and see what people. But everybody's been asking. So I'm saying, like, humbly and not even over exaggerating, but even up to yesterday, somebody DM'd us and asked, like, yo, do we have any lighting classes? So I guess we are at the point where, we do have some valuable game to share, because it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4 people.
Yeah, it's several people that hit us up and told us that.
Exactly.
I mean, if we do, but when we do the workshop, it's going to be dope, though. We're going to really, like, pull out all the stops and give as much game as we could give.
Yeah. Do it in a very unique, the most unique way possible. And, full of knowledge, full of game. Like what we would want to see in a workshop, like a hands-on type vibe.
We said we're going to do it a little bit mid to end quarter, in this quarter. So, look out.
Look out for that. Since we've been doing it, topics right here on the screen for y'all. Just so y'all know what's on the agenda for today. And let's get right into it. That hair campaign that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Man.
Another one for sure. We got that lead from Tatiana. Who we shot over Christmas.
We shot her for Christmas. And I'm guessing, because at first I thought the client, because Tatiana is the liaison that recommended us, and it was Regina's brand.
Yeah.
And at first I thought Regina found us through the Valentine's Day hair campaign, the spec work we had did. But now it's Tatiana that recommended us. So
that goes back to one of the early episodes that we had a conversation about, getting people in. You get them into the door for one thing, and then you never know where it's going to go.
Yeah, exactly. Because Tatiana's actually booked 2. Well, she got Regina to book with us, which is her
and then she's booked her own
mentee,
brand,
and then now she's booked for her own brand. So I mean,
so
sometimes you do have to just get people in the door.
You got to get them in the door, bro.
Yeah, because our Christmas shoot, we use it as like a loss leader, I guess you could call it. What, $300 to make like 3,000 so far. So, it's a foolproof strategy for sure. But yeah, the hair campaign, that was really dope. I mean, starting off with the photos, I guess we'll get into the videos later. That way we can segue into like what we're doing with videography. But the photos, we got the Magnum reflector for this shoot, and honestly speaking, the first shots I did with the Magnum reflector in shoot, I thought I didn't like it, but that wasn't what I didn't like. Because
what didn't you like?
I didn't like the way the hair was positioned on the model. So I'm saying, and it was really hard for me because, again, we're not like hairstylists ourselves.
Yeah.
We just know the technical and the fundamentals of photography.
But typically you have a stylist
on deck.
Yeah. On set.
On set, I should say. And I'm shooting with the Magnum reflector. At first, I'll show you guys the shots. Some of them were too harsh, of course, but once I brought it back and brought it way down, brought my power way down to what it's supposed to be, I'm realizing like, okay, I did like it. What I didn't like was the hair. So
you notice with a Magnum reflector, bro, like how much power is amplified. Bro, it's insane.
I had to shoot, and mind you, my f-stop wasn't even at anything crazy. I think my f-stop was maybe, I can go back at the pictures and look, but I think it was at like 6.37. Yeah. And I had to drop that key light power to like 1/128.
That amplifies a lot of light, bro. And then when you're already at like the lowest power setting on that light, now you have to use distance.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm saying, of course, that affects the spill, but the power is crazy, bro.
Yeah, so it was a little tricky at first, doing those shots of, I believe her name was Asha at first, but eventually we definitely got something I like. We did the shots with Mari; those came out crazy.
What do you do in a shoot when you are taking the photos and you're not liking it?
I kind of do a process of elimination. Like, what don't I try to get down to what I don't like. And then that's why it'd be good that we be in shoots together too. Cause I'm not like a hyper independent person when it comes to like, well, at least when we're in shoots together. Cause I know you have the eye and you know the vision. We agree on the vision before a shoot. So, but process of elimination, and then process of elimination don't work. I look to you and be like, yo, what do you think? So I'm saying, so with this one, it was like, I'm looking, okay, the light was too harsh, obviously, at first. So, you know, got the key light right. I felt like it was too moody. So we switched from the strip overhead for the hair light to the umbrella, you know, just to give a little bit more spill on her shoulders. Just give a little bit more spill on her shoulders, the hair and everything. So we used the umbrella. And then the light that was shining on the background, I believe I moved it closer to her to create a larger spread of light on the background. And then we got it to something I like. But yeah, usually process of elimination for sure.
Yeah, that's typically how it goes.
Yeah, you kind of look at the lighting, then you look at, okay, is it the pose?
People see that final product though, and they think like, oh nah, y'all got it, bro. Like,
yeah.
Nah, bro. Sometimes you don't have it.
You don't have it, and you have to really work for it.
And you're like, yo, what am I about to do?
Nah, I will say for sure. Like, I definitely struggled a little bit with that. With shooting her, but also shooting. Don't remember her name.
Which one?
The client's daughter, Regina's daughter.
Is it a K?
I don't remember. I do apologize if she's watching it though. Yeah. But Regina's daughter, you know, was supposed to be the face of the brand. I also struggled shooting her too. And I guess it just boiled down to I didn't really like the outfit choice. You know, just being real here. I didn't like the outfit choice. And also she let us know during the shoot that, you know, she doesn't really shoot and she's not photogenic.
She's
so
a photographer.
It's kind of like working, you know, you'd have to work with somebody like from scratch, and it's not full body shots, so it's not heavy with posing. So I'm saying like heavy in posing in terms of like so much you can manipulate.
It's more so the subtleties
of
like how well you photograph that helps with these, you know,
subtle.
Any type of these like beauty shots. Yeah, it's the subtleties right there, bro.
Yeah. So like the subtle movements are like the hands, the lips, the head tilts,
eyes, everything.
So I really, really struggled there, because I mean I changed the modifier for her too and everything. I struggled there for sure. But we eventually got. I know we don't like to leave shoots without something that we're proud of from like every shot, every pose. Especially
with our more brand shoots. Because we shoot for the project and not more so for time.
Yeah.
With the brand shoots, because of course we want to make sure that, you know, what they book for is what they got. So we definitely have to make sure that we leave with something.
Yeah. So I was struggling with that. I was shooting that for a little minute. But eventually we got something. And by the time this podcast episode drops, we can't even show the edits yet. We can just show like behind the scenes because they're still working on launching. But yeah, it was definitely a little tricky. But all in all, for the images, very proud of what we did. We're definitely gonna have something. They definitely have something for their website, for their social media, that they could be proud of.
Yeah. If you had to rank the shoot though overall out of 10, just experience wise, how difficulty, everything.
Okay, so let me just do like 3 different categories. Difficulty, 1 being not so difficult, 10 being difficult.
Yeah.
The photo shoot aspect of this was like an 8 for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, new modifier. I had never shot with a manual reflector before. Of course, working with Regina's daughter, who expressed that she wasn't photogenic. So I'm building this pose like from scratch. Like literally, I'm in the shoot telling her like, all right, let's stop, don't do anything. So I'm saying, tilt your head, this until I got it. It was challenging. In terms of like what we produced, 9 for sure. I really like those shots with Mari, those close-up shots that show the texture of the hair. And I saw some shots with Asha that I really, really liked. The only thing, I just wish the hair was positioned a little differently. But in terms of like lighting and pose, it's pretty fire. And yeah, I'll just do those 2 categories. But yeah, we learned a lot from this.
Yeah.
And challenges only make you better going forward. So I'm not tripping off that.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, bro. It wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad. And I love the shots. Now for the videos.
Yeah, the videos came out crazy. Yeah. I can't wait to show y'all. We can't show y'all on the podcast. We can just show you BTS, but videos came out crazy. What we did was, at first they booked us for a up to 1 minute video, but they asked if we can break it down into separate videos that were up to a minute, if that makes sense. So like a 15 second, 15
like 4
second.
15-second videos.
Yeah. So one video was, Regina's daughter, the face of the brand, speaking about what the brand represents. And what was cool about that is that we built that script using AI.
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. So here's the prompt we used. And of course, we just manipulated and edited so it sounds more realistic, and it sounds like it's coming directly from her eyes, her perspective, her thoughts. So that was cool about that. And then we used the slider for the first time. Yeah,
tracking with the slider. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was good because it had a mobile app, so it made everything easier. Because people typically don't use sliders, just use gimbal. But for something like this like beauty shot that's like so close up, so still, it's so engaging. Like the slider was perfect, bro.
Yeah,
because it lifts that like what would call for a stationary shot, and it just makes you able to add that little bit of movement that like is everything.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So those shots were fire. And then the panning shot, where we panned around Amari and Asha.
That was crazy. That we shot with the gimbal.
We shot that with the gimbal. That was crazy.
DJI Ronin too.
Yeah. The sound effects we added on that, the editing on that is crazy. Shout out to Daniel too, because that video where the hair switches from the pins to actually being
with
done
the bloom effect.
With the bloom effect, yeah. Shout out to Daniel,
shout
our
out to
homie Daniel. He recommended that to us. And that came out fire. And I definitely think, because the brand is Hair Diamonds, I like the way that it creates like that vintage, elegant feel that I feel like they were going for with the shoot anyway. So it all tied in perfectly.
Yeah, bro.
It all tied in perfectly.
And we haven't done a lot of video for like for hair brands.
No, I think
this might be like number 1.
We did video for Hair Depot.
It was different. It was a different kind of.
It was a different kind of video.
That was like UGC videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. The purpose was intended for like UGC. This though is different. This was more like a commercial, like top of funnel ad situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dope.
Yeah. So they got a lot of top of funnel content that's gonna go crazy on social media for sure, and their ads and their website too.
Yeah, they're gonna go up from this, bro. Trust me. Trust me. I expect to see these videos like everywhere.
Yeah, same. All right. So speaking of videography, because it's not something that we're known for, but it's something that we've been intentional about stepping into, especially past years we've talked about it. So I'm saying past year we've talked about it. We'll do like a one video here and there, like the Katiana video.
Yeah, like Mark's video.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh snap! Yeah, Mark's video. That was a real like.
That was we shot a commercial. Right?
Yeah, commercial. Yeah, and I guess Mark's video kind of really showed us that we have the capabilities in terms of equipment to accomplish almost anything. But even after that, we didn't take it too serious. But I definitely see how intentional we are with it this year. Personally, for you, like, what do you think it was that kind of like flipped the switch for you to want to take like the video content so serious?
So I think there's several factors that influence my decision or my motivation to go like, you know, start to learn more about videography and wanting to take action. Mm-hmm. One of which being like I'm inspired by so many creatives, like even locally. Yeah. So I'm saying
shout out Oasis Images.
Shout out to Oasis. You know, like the visuals I see him produce. Mm-hmm. Right on the larger scale, I see people like Herb that I look at his work and I'm like, yo, crazy. Like, so I'm saying. So I'm inspired by so many different creatives, and when I look at their work, I think like, yo, I want to create something, you know, similar to this. Yeah. Right? Maybe not in style, but something that like takes something that that I would photograph and it would be still and add like my unique point of view to this.
Tell a story almost.
Tell a story, right? Yeah. And then another part of that is like, you know, Instagram kind of pull my arm. Yeah. Yeah. With the type of content that they're pushing, it kind of made it so you see the slowdown in growth with your still photos. And you realize now that, you know, reels are the way to go.
Yeah. Especially if you're going the campaign route. A lot of brands, not even a lot, most of the brands that hit us up ask us for a video. We even have clients that hit us up not even for photos, but they just want video. So
yeah, they just want video.
Video is definitely in demand. Like quality video is in demand.
And then that's the next thing is like it's another revenue source. Because somebody would come in and they'd book a photo shoot and then they'd have to go book a video shoot after. Yeah. But if you can create a sort of hybrid situation, you know, you make yourself more profitable and more marketable because somebody could be like, yo, hey, you know, I'm going to book them because this is a full service situation.
That's facts. That's facts. What has been the biggest challenge you think for us so far with video?
So the biggest challenge, because let me tell you what's easy about video first, right? Because if you have some basis of photography, you already understand some things like composition, exposure, right? So those skills or knowledge translates directly to videography because you just are looking at something and deciding whether or not it looks good, right? But the other side of it is, you know, understanding movement, right? Understanding movement, realizing that you don't have the flexibility that you have with photos when it comes to editing this work. Like if you did something like incorrect here in this video, like chances are this is gonna stay incorrect.
Oh man,
yeah, right. Yeah, and then with photos, like you could bring this into Photoshop, and by the time you're done, like this is a whole new situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's intimidating because you're learning a new discipline, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like okay, I'm at the stage of my photography now where I can call myself like, oh, I'm an expert, right? Not in comparison to anybody else, but in terms of like my knowledge base, right? Yeah. But now with videography, it's like, okay, well, I'm supposed to be this expert creative, and I feel like a novice all over again. Yeah. So it's challenging.
I mean, for sure. I mean, a big part of it for me too was doubting myself.
Exactly.
Like. And there was so much confusion before I really like took time and did the research and asked a lot of questions. I asked Daniel mad questions about video. I probably hit Daniel up about like anything I see because Dan is like Daniel shoots his own music videos. So I'm saying GOAT.
Yeah. So he has a lot of experience.
Yeah. But it was like a lot of doubting myself, and like before I had a true understanding, I'm like, yo, I would make what I wanted to do in video. I would make these concepts like more than what they had to be, if that makes sense. Like I'm like, I'll make it more daunting. Like, dang, I want to do this, but
how am I even gonna pull this
how am
off?
I even gonna pull this off? You see what I'm saying?
That's what
like,
I'm saying. It's like you're a novice all over again.
Yeah, but in the same breath, like doing something for like Hair Diamonds that I recently did, I felt the same way. But you know, after we've done it, I'm like, bro, okay, like that wasn't even that bad. So I'm saying, like, that wasn't even that bad.
It's because of the skills that that translate. If you were to start from scratch, like no experience with photography, you would have to learn all of those things. You have to understand composition, exposure, all these things, right? The only difference now with videography is that you're adding, like, you know, understanding frame rate and different things like that, right?
Yeah, and understanding. You truly have to understand exposure, for
yeah,
sure.
So I'm saying, but overall, like, just being able to understand the baseline of those skills already puts you at a significant advantage than somebody who's never done it. Yeah.
Facts. So where do you see, like, let me say, at least in the next 2-3 years, where do you see us, like, in terms of like the video aspect of what we offer?
I think anything that we focus on for a prolonged period of time, the equation works itself out into success. So I can see the same route happening this way. I would love to pursue larger projects, but I also, before I step into larger projects, I really want to find a voice with videography, right? Find a style that's like
unique to you,
unique to me, right? And then say, okay, this is what I'm going to offer, because everybody does it, right? And there's so many talented people. And because of how many talented people, it's hard not to feel like, yo, damn.
Yeah.
Like, am I going to go into this space and I'm going to just, like, get drowned out? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But just find the same way we found, like, an approach with photography is what I like us to do with videography. Just find something that makes us, like, unique.
Unique and makes us stand out. And just, I mean, just like with photography, where we had certain aspects of disciplines that we, like, hyper focused on, like we focused on lighting for a year, focused on sets for like a year, learned floral design and you know, gel lighting and things like that. So yeah, I definitely agree with you. In 2 years, well, I say within the next 2 years, I definitely just want to continue down the path of like, yo, creating these super crazy campaigns with our unique perspective, because I truly do believe like just our taste and like what we have an eye for is already so like different. So if we're able to translate that into video, especially with the campaigns we're starting off with right now, I think, man, it's only up. Like,
do you see yourself kind of stepping more into a creative direction or creative director role?
Yeah, most definitely. And then that's why it's so good that it's two of us, and that we're a team, because it could be vice versa. Like, if you have an idea, I'm running like, you know, DP.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, while you just like let me know what to do, and then vice versa. So I'm saying, but yeah, I definitely see a creative director role where, you know, we expand our team, and bring somebody on that probably knows more about, you know, being a DP than we would know. But we have the creative idea that we want to put forth. And, you know, we just able to bring those elements together.
I think that's what I look at, because when I think about, it's a completely different discipline, right? But when I think about certain fashion icons, when I think about like Pharrell, right? And I think about, you know, because, you know, he took on that new position at Louis Vuitton. And I think about the pieces that they drop now, and it's not that he's in this warehouse like cutting up these pieces
all himself, but he knows who. Just like the Tyler the Creator collab.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying,
it's just having a unique perspective and knowing how to communicate that perspective and manage a team. And I think I can see more forward trajectory that way than trying to like learn every single aspect of videography and competing.
Agreed.
Right? When I could just really build a team and focus on just elevating my taste, my eye, my perspective.
Yeah.
And then, finding a unique way to communicate that to clients and to, everybody who consumes it.
Yeah. That's facts. That's facts.
So I think that's more so the goal. Yeah.
Of course, right now it's April, meaning we're, into quarter two. And I know the topic was at first that I sent you was reflecting on quarter one, but so let's reflect on quarter one, the goods, the bads, anything you learned about yourself too, or anything you learned that you think people should know. And then I guess we can lightly talk about our quarter two goals. So let's start with the bad. What's some bad from, quarter one that you feel like we needed to do better, you needed to do better personally, like?
So I can think about, okay, so largely me then, quarter one, we had a rough January and we didn't have one last year. And I think more of like my latter part of the year is going to be trying to hyper focus on the factors that go into making these great months. So like on a larger scale, on a macro level, I know like, what makes these good months happen, right? On a micro level, those where I have to like hyper focus in, because maybe if I can find the small patterns, right? Apart from like, the grand scheme things like the economy contracting and different things like that. But I really would like to know, what made everything so different, because January of 2023 was amazing.
Amazing,
right?
Yeah.
One of our highest grossing months. And then
all of a sudden,
January of this year was one of our lowest grossing months, right? Since of course we started, being consistent with profits in our business. So that definitely went wrong this quarter. I think something that we did amazing this quarter was we put out more content than we've ever put out before.
Yeah, very proud of us for that, because that's always been like a conversation, and even our homies like holding us to like, like what y'all doing, like not creating enough content. So yeah, agree with you on that for sure, with that positive, like we put out mad content.
Yeah. What's something that you could say like went wrong this quarter?
I'm not gonna say went wrong this quarter, but something I realized that we lack this quarter. I think we can do better with our marketing, our digital marketing, which is why this week I even forward to you, was like let's do certain things. But yeah, I just feel like I was doing some research on the internet, watching some videos. And I realized how many campaigns companies actually run, which helps them, which helps them diversify revenue within their business. So you'll have, I think it was Ian Dunlap who said like, yo, your business should have 21 streams of income. And it made me almost go back to the drawing board completely. And I'm like, okay, we could sell extra edits, we could sell prints. And I'm like, yo, we've never really fully immersed and tapped ourselves into the potential of like, yo, getting all the bread we can get out of
our digital infrastructure. Yeah.
Our digital infrastructure. You see what I'm saying? Like, we have the power to turn a $500 client, photo shoot client, into a $700 client by just selling extra edits and a print. So that was something I noticed quarter one, that I feel like we lacked, and that's something, that's definitely a goal for quarter two. One of the goals for quarter two, is to just create these robust digital marketing campaigns. Like, there's brands that I have purchased from, or I guess I'm subscribed to their newsletter, and I get their emails, and it's not annoying. So I'm saying, so I guess it's just finding that way of being like, yo, finding that place where it's not annoying, but somebody is always, not always, but they're in the purchase cycle longer, if you get what I'm saying, our clients. I feel like we it's not that we got lazy, it's just a lot running a business a lot of the time. So, but I think this quarter we should definitely do a better job of like extracting as much income or revenue out of a client as possible, instead of it just being like, yo, you come in, you come. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. What's a goal for you for quarter two?
So one big goal that I have for Q2, right? So we've done a great job of dropping consistent podcast episodes, right? Um, with the goal of overall improving our online presence. I've seen, I don't want to use the word stagnation, right? But slow growth when it comes to something like our Instagram, because we hit high numbers very quickly, right? But we saw fast growth when we first started. Like, I mean, tremendous growth when we
Yeah.
first started, and I can only attribute that to the amount of content that we put out when we first started, right? And ever since like Instagram shifted, we've been on the back end of that, trying to like trying to catch up.
Yeah.
And I think it's time we get ahead of it,
Yeah.
right? Get ahead of it.
Agreed.
And a big part of that is so photo shoots is difficult to post a lot of because you post the things that you deem worthy to post, right? And unfortunately, between repeat content and like things that don't represent what you want to put out,
Yeah.
it leaves a small amount of things that that you can actually post. I mean, there's some photographers, Sophia Barrett says she posts everything
Everything. Yeah.
that she takes, right?
Yeah.
I'm not there.
Nah, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm saying,
I mean, we definitely push to get there, but with client work, I mean, we're still. I mean, we suffer a lot. It's so crazy. A lot of people ask us like, "Yo, how do you get clients to always agree to what you want to do?" And I always tell you, it's not they don't always agree.
they don't always agree.
It's just luck.
We have a lot of
yeah.
clients, so it seems like
Yeah.
we're always having these like amazing concepts or these beautiful moments that we're able to capture.
But
It's
a
not
lot
the
of
case.
times, yeah, a lot of times clients come to us and they just want what they want. And then if you're not in like a great mood for the day, you're not really gonna want to convince anybody. You're just gonna be like, okay, because if it doesn't come out to what they like, then you have another headache on the back end. So
Precisely.
yeah.
So a goal of mine is to because photos are, you have to use what you get. I want to put out a lot more real content this quarter, and that in order to do so, we have to diversify the topic points that we put out in reels. So a goal of mine is to just try to get a baseline of 5 or 6 things that can happen consistently in terms of topics for reels, right? Whether it be like converted BTS or something more personal that we're delivering in a message to our photographers or to our clients. Yeah, but keeping it so consistent that I can start to measure growth now that way. Yeah.
Okay, facts. Yeah. I agree with you for sure, 100% on that. We can put out more real content. I mean, when it comes to putting out content, I don't really pressure us so much. I mean, of course, like the goal is to do it, and we do turn up the heat on ourselves, but always I kind of have like a little bit more grace with us sometimes, because it is kind of difficult for us to create content. Everybody will say to us like, oh, like there's so much always going on at the studio, but in reality, it's kind of like it's not always things we can record.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Which is why I even thought about like finding different things that we can create around.
Yeah.
Right. Parameters are a lot more free, right, and not so dependent on like what's happening. Yeah.
And I guess another point would be, which is why I guess the initiative to do a collab every week, like some spec work every week, would definitely help, because we're always going to guarantee to have content that we like.
Precisely.
But yeah, and I mean, sorry, just to go back to the point of, it's not that easy for us to create content. So have a little grace with us, because I mean, even right now, right, it's 8:00. There would have been somebody here paying us.
Yeah.
But we chose to, block off the studio to record this podcast. So there's always been some sort of trade-off when it comes to like creating content with us, because it's only us two. We use the same space that people rent from us. So it's kind of like, okay, do I bite the bullet of not making any bread this period of time, because when we do our projects, it's like blocking off like 4 or 5 hours at a time, and
Yeah.
almost all the time when we have time blocked off, people hit us up and be like,
To book within that time slot.
within that time slot, you
So
like,
the trade
dang,
off is money.
it's money.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, so I have a little bit of grace with us when it comes to that. But I mean, for sure, 100%, we are nowhere near where we were last year in terms of creating content. I mean, just the fact that we're even doing the podcast consistently, showing up on our stories more consistently.
And I've seen the benefits of the way we create content now, which is what makes me think like, okay, we can turn up the heat.
Turn it up the heat, yeah, exactly.
Because we're able to develop so much more of a community and so much more leadership position in the space just by the amount of content that we're able to put out.
Exactly. Exactly. That was my quarter. I was gonna say another quarter two goal of mine, was definitely to create a community for sure. I see, and I guess it's kind of like, not to sound too evangelical, so I'm saying, but it feels like it's almost the inevitable for us, like a calling, but not a calling. I don't want to say that, but a lot of people are asking us. So I'm saying, a lot of people ask us for advice. A lot of people ask us for tips. So it just feels right, because it's not falling from a place of like, of ego, or like wanting to hear ourselves talk and wanting to see ourselves online. It's just genuinely, people are asking, and the feedback is good to like the little we do put out. So it just feels right to create a community and drop game and have events and things like that.
Yeah.
So create a community is one of my quarter two goals for sure.
I definitely have a revenue goal for quarter two also. Mm-hmm. So we've seen, I don't want to say exact figures, but we've seen amazing months, right, over the course of our business, right? And I want to push those averages, more so for personal goals for you and I. Of course, the economy has shifted, and as a creative, you have the same goals as everybody else when it comes to personal life. You want to acquire things, you want to improve your standard of living, different things, right? And we've been able to pay ourselves a consistent salary for a long time now with our business. And I'm eternally grateful for that. Right? But at this stage, I would love to see us, like propel ourselves into
a whole nother
like bracket when it comes to earnings.
Agreed. So would you say that's like a personal goal of yours for quarter two?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. And I think all signs point to it. Gratefully. Yeah, gratefully, all signs point to it. And I think what we're able to do when it comes to the growth of our YouTube page, the growth of our online presence, all these things directly translate. So I think everything that we're talking about, bro, is just really pushing us in one direction. And that's what I love about the nature of our business now. Is we have the freedom to move in singularity, bro.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm grateful for that, bro. Because so many partnerships, you have this push or pull, constant tension all the time, where you never really get anywhere because of how stagnant you can get from equal tension.
Yeah, but I mean, with us for sure, it's definitely one voice, and we may have little differences like on like approach.
Yeah, unfortunately, like, when you have two intelligent people sitting down, you're gonna have differences in perspective.
Yeah, differences in perspective, but it's thankfully it's never anything that we've never been able to sit down and be like, you know what, I think this brother is like, yeah. I mean, again, to me, I've always said this, like, leaving decisions, because we're both leaders, so I'm saying, and it takes a good leader to know when to just like, just follow someone's lead and just let them do their thing. And I always say like, every decision I know you're making it for the benefit of the business. So it's never difficult for me to be like, let him do his thing. Because let's say you end up wrong. I never say people are like, not never say people, but I've never said you were wrong about a decision. You just ended up being wrong just based off circumstances.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, but what you did, you made an educated decision. So I'm saying that you thought would benefit, benefit both of us.
Facts.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you gotta appreciate things like that for sure. It's definitely one voice, one sound, moving, 2711 in like one direction and getting us to like where we want to be for sure.
At first, bro, I thought we were like unicorns in terms of the nature of our partnership, because I never really saw a lot of creatives have this type of, partnership and moving in this type of way. But as I explore the creative space more, I'm seeing a lot more people with a similar situation and having like such great success. And that kind of inspires me because I've always had this looming thought in my mind is like, am I just like thinking this is just gonna work like this? Yeah, right. Am I thinking it's gonna work like this? But I've seen so many other people like achieve so many great things. I'm like, okay, this gives me like a reinforcement to know like, yo, I'm on the right path with this. Prime example is there's a group of creative directors who directed a lot of music videos for Lil Yachty. Yeah,
they go crazy.
I've seen it, yeah. And it's a creative team. It's 2 of them. And I look at their work and I've seen where their work started and
where it is today. They're doing unthinkable things.
And I'm like, this is so dope.
Yeah.
This is so dope. But this is just 2 like-minded people who have like such an amazing vision, bro. And then they're making it happen. So I know like, I know this is the goal, bro. It's just to continue to make sound decisions and just push our creativity, bro.
Exactly.
Just push our creativity.
Exactly.
Yeah. So quarter 2 is going to be another stepping stone towards that goal.
For sure. For sure. Excited to share with y'all like, super excited to share with y'all like, after quarter 2, what we've accomplished and, just taking the year quarter by quarter. Especially after reading the 12-week year in the first quarter of this year. I definitely like the way we're breaking down our year into quarters and just like, going crazy for a quarter, because first quarter really felt like a year to me. So I'm saying the amount of things we pushed to do. So I'm saying the way we revisited, like the way we started off this quarter, like, what are our goals?
It makes you more critical about analyzing your goals.
Facts. And it helps you pivot faster too. Because if you're just looking after a quarter, you're like, dang, this ain't where we got to do this. You only lost a quarter.
Yeah.
And you got this next quarter to go crazy.
Yeah, that's very true.
So I'm saying.
That's very true. And it also, it's more refreshing because you get a reset. Right? And it's crazy that it's just a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
Right? But after this quarter, I can look and I can reflect and be like, okay, all right. Everything didn't work like I wanted to work, but reset.
Exactly.
Let's see next quarter. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm saying, but that's episode 9?
9, man.
Episode 9. Always appreciate y'all for listening. Appreciate y'all for watching, tuning in. Just look out for more content.
Yeah, we got a lot more exciting stuff, bro. I know I say it all the time, but
nah, facts.
Yeah, I haven't filled y'all yet, man. There's a lot more exciting stuff coming.
Facts. See y'all in episode 10, man.
Y'all be safe.
Yo.